Welcome back to another Brand to Table podcast. I'm your host, Henry Kaminsky, your go-to for marketing and branding for restaurants. Guys, we have another amazing guest. You hear me say that all the time, but I don't like to bring just anybody on the show. I want you guys to understand that. So quick little backstory here. I was at the Food and Wine Festival this year at Crystal Springs, and I was just telling this guest off camera that I will never go there again on an empty stomach, because by the time I met my next guest, I was freaking 4 sheets to the wind, and she was the only one with food left. So she really helped me get through that day and get me home safely. So without further ado, I want to introduce Alex Donnadio from Iron and Oak. Alex, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited about this.
Oh my God, this was so great. Like, I was looking for guests, and you have been in my feed for quite some time on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I just absolutely love your personal brand. I love the brand that you represent and you own. So I was like, she would be a phenomenal guest on the show. So I'm happy that you're here.
No, I appreciate it. It's so funny because I completely forgot I was like hand feeding you bacon at Food and Wine like every time you walked by.
I was never so happy to see bacon. And you messaged me the next day. You were like, you made my night because you were so happy over this bacon.
It's the little things.
Yes, yes. So tell everybody who you are, because you have quite the resume, and you are quite the world traveler. Let us know quickly what you own and what you do in the industry.
Okay, so my name is Alexandra, but I go by Zandge on social media. I am the owner and chef of Iron and Oak Catering, where we travel nationally and internationally, providing live fire experiences for clients throughout the world. With that is an hour and a half of charcuterie and hors d'oeuvres, and then the second half is me dismantling whole animals in front of you. I also compete internationally, and I do recipe development for various companies on social media.
That is freaking awesome. So you don't always see women dismembering animals like you do, but I have to tell you, you make it very, very interesting to watch, and you really know your stuff. And that's what I really loved about you. And I was saying to myself, we have this awesome Memorial Day weekend party every year. Guess who's going to cater it this year?
I would love to.
So we'll talk about that afterwards. So you recently took your talents to a national stage, right? You were on Fox's Next Level Chef. How did that opportunity come about? And what made you say yes to stepping into that spotlight?
Well, it's so funny because I just started posting on social media at that point. Like, you know, I come from an Italian-American household where there was always food around. My mom was always cooking. And then I didn't start cooking until I was like super stressed. And I kind of immersed myself in the kitchen kind of as an escape from the world.
Okay.
And my fiance now was like, you should start posting on social media. And I did. And I had like a couple hundred followers. I got a random DM like, hey, do you want to be on a Gordon Ramsay show? I'm like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
And like, shout out to Lindsay because it was real. She was one of the casting members for Next Level Chef. And finally I was like, okay, I'll entertain it. And I'm so happy I did, because then it opened the door to so many other opportunities. And I found myself in Ireland filming Next Level Chef with Gordon Ramsay.
That's freaking awesome. So I'm shifting gears here for a little bit. I want to talk about Iron Oak a little bit. So tell us the name. Well, we obviously know the name, but the vision, the vibe, where did this come from for you?
So I didn't start Iron and Oak until after I got eliminated from Next Level Chef. And it was at that point where, you know, I'm always still building and growing myself. But at that point, I was still building and growing. And I would say yes to every opportunity. And I was kind of like, you know what? I want to be my own boss. I want people to hire me. Like, I'll still help everyone I can, but I want to be the one that people are going to hire. I want to form my own experiences. And my fiance and I couldn't think of a name. So we poured some bourbon, went to the bar, and I still have the napkin that says all the different names we were going to put on it. And as simple as it is, we use iron to cook and we use oak to cook. So Iron and Oak, it's
that's the best, right? When it comes together that easily. That's awesome.
And we were like, okay, like we use both of those things to cook with. Like, let's just name the business that.
So now is your fiance a cook too?
Yeah. So he actually grew up in the restaurant industry and he helps me immensely through everything. He's kind of like the logical one where I'm just like, let's do this. And he's like, did you look at your calendar? I'm like, no, we'll figure it out.
So you travel quite a bit. You
Yeah.
had mentioned you were in China, you were in Ireland. Like, these are gigs you're getting booked off of social media, or?
So the China is actually an international cooking competition. So this is now the second time I have done it. I'm going back in April, November for more competitions. It represents the Asian American Restaurant Association. And there's a few of us that go out every year. This year we competed as a team and placed 4th out of 43 countries.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's so much fun. They have like a giant ceremony dinner the night before. They give you your ingredients. We had to do 5 courses in 3 hours, which you think would be simple. And going from, it was 2 of my friends from Next Level Chef, actually, we competed on a team together and my fiance, and we were like, this is going to be a walk in the park. 30 minutes, Next Level Chef, 3 hours. And then the time kept going by so quickly. We're like, oh my God, we got to get things out. And we did. We got everything out on the plate.
Where in China?
The competition this year was in Macau.
Wow.
Yeah.
I heard it's like next level over there.
It's beautiful over there. And Macau is like the Vegas of China. So it was just like Atlantic City times 20 down there.
What's the flight?
Like 16 hours. So it's not terrible.
Not too bad.
No.
Yeah. So let's talk about branding.
Yeah.
And Iron and Oak's heartbeat, right? What do you want clients, guests to feel the moment they experience that Iron and Oak for the first time?
Literally what you just said, an experience. There's all these restaurants, there's all these fine dining, there's so many things out there where it's like you either go and you leave hungry, or you go and you're like, wow, that was beautiful, but that didn't taste great. Like, I want you to have an experience when you're eating. I want you to feel like you're at a fancy backyard party. And which is why we do the familiarity of the charcuterie and hors d'oeuvres. So while you're eating something that's familiar to you, you're watching an entire hog and engraved tomahawks and lamb legs and salmon being cooked in a very primal way. But you're taking that and you're elevating it to give people an experience. So people are walking around, taking little dainty hors d'oeuvres, and then the next hour, they're watching me dismantle an entire hog and lining up and then eating out of boats. So you go from something that's extremely dainty to then something that's like very homey and barbecue and, sitting at high top tables with a fork and seasonal vegetables.
Oh my God. I have to ask you, how did you get into this line of culinary? I have to ask that question.
Yeah, I have a problem saying no. So when people are like, hey, do you want to do this? I say yes. And that's I met some friends on TikTok who were like, hey, do you want to come to Texas to this barbecue event? I said yes. And then kind of just submersed myself into it. And I realized like, hey, this is a way better stress relief than making pasta. Don't get me wrong, I love making pasta, but I would spend all day rolling tortellini, making pasta. And then when I found open fire cooking, I was like, okay, you need to control the fire. You need to control your meat. You need to control everything around you where you don't have time to think about anything else that's going on outside of that. So I fell in love with
I hear that, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm hearing you got into the culinary world to kind of escape from, I don't want to say life, but like you found pleasure, you found just peace, it sounds like to me, in this line of cooking. And I think that's just it's unique, it's awesome, and it's uncommon. Yeah. And I think that's what really, really drove me to you, because we are in a sea of sameness out there.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody, you were at the Food and Wine Festival, you saw, it was just, one table after the next, it was a blur. Yeah. Right? And so you bring this completely different experience, which we're going to get into in a second, because when we're going to start talking about marketing now. So Iron and Oak is a very intentional brand, right? How do you approach marketing today? Because, what's worked and what's not?
Well, it's funny because, you go down to Texas, you pass the Mason-Dixon line, it's a barbecue. Me, it's, you have Francis Malman, you have down in Texas, everyone doing open fire. And in the tri-state area, people don't like change. People don't like things that they aren't familiar with. And so marketing was a little difficult at first. And then what I realized is, people in like the tri-state area are a little bougie. And that's where we got the charcuterie and hors d'oeuvres from, because that was something that was familiar to people. So you're using psychology a little bit, where you're taking something that people know and love. And then, either whether it's Sunday dinner or football or anything, you have your cheese and dips, but you're presenting it nicely. And then you're doing hors d'oeuvres. And then they're looking at something that they've never seen before, but it makes them feel more comfortable, because then they're like, wait, I want this experience again. I want to have this again. I want this in my backyard, not just in this person's backyard.
Yeah. You just gave me the ultimate tailgate for next year.
At football games too. Do smash burgers. That's a little less dainty, but you do smash burgers, pulled pork. It's so much fun.
Oh my God. And you would draw a crowd, because I've seen your Instagram stuff, because you have the meats hanging and the full pig is it's again, you have to go to her Instagram account and see all of this, because it was when I met her at the Food and Wine Festival, she was serving, you were serving bacon and these little dishes, and then when I dove in a little bit deeper, I'm like, she's dismembering pigs. This is a whole different ballgame that I was just not expecting.
Yeah, surprise.
And it's just, I think that surprise and delight is, again, and I'm really hammering this episode, because I want people to get out of their comfort zones. I want people to stop doing what everybody else is doing and kind of take inspiration from you to try different things and to get out there and be something that truly inspires you, but truly excites you, but also gets people questioning and guessing and inquisitive. Because I think in 2026, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to be out of business.
Yeah, it's not, you have to you have to have a business inside of a business. And it's funny because now I started doing event planning, and I found love in that, where, I'm organizing the Iron and Oak aspect of it. But then I'm just okay, how can we decorate the tables? How can we, find entertainment? How could we elevate this a little bit more than just doing all of the extra things we're already doing for this party, so that it is memorable for people and that they want to feel that again.
There's value in that too.
Yeah.
I mean, to have you come in and take care of the food, but also give some creative idea for, decorations and things like that, that's huge.
It's so much fun. And I feel like a lot of times, people just go day to day to day. And it helps a lot with critical thinking too, which I love, because you're not just sitting there, you're developing new recipes, you're finding seasonal vegetables, and then you're wait, what else can I do? How else can I make this a little bit more, instead of just going through the motions of the same recipe and the same thing over and over again? Because the hog and the steaks are going to stay the same, but what goes on it might not.
Right. You shed some light earlier when you said, when you're doing open flame, there are so many different variables that you have to control. And I never really thought of that before. So that kind of makes everything somewhat unique as well. And I think that is, again, a skill and a talent. And you and your fiance know how to pull it off very eloquently. I would have 4 left arms trying to do it myself, All right, so what is one area of marketing or guest communication that you wish you had some more support with and you want to elevate in the future?
I don't know if it's necessarily guest communication, but I would maybe say social media and clients and people giving others more a chance if they don't have as large of a following.
Okay.
Because I feel nowadays everyone's just looking at following, and everyone's just looking at X, Y, and Z, instead of being oh, okay, maybe they don't have as much of a following, but let me look at their actual resume instead. Or let me look at the clients that they have that maybe are not posting. Or let me look at everything else, not just what is posted on social media.
Or follower count.
Yeah.
We just had this conversation the other day about follower count and how BS it is.
Yeah.
Because I used to have a huge following until Instagram decided to just axe me one day. Yeah. I had 180,000 followers. I woke up one day and my account was gone.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So, I'm telling a lot of my restaurant clients, you cannot follow somebody or have them come in or even hire them off of their follower count, because you can find people with 2,000 or 3,000 followers that are loaded with talent and have a strong, engaging audience.
And I have this conversation all the time too. It's like you have, and I'm not knocking anyone, you have social media chefs, you have all of these people, and it's like, okay, but what can they do off camera? What can you show me that you can do off camera that, you know, this person I might hire doesn't have a social media and they're my best worker? You know?
Right. So digging deeper is what I'm hearing. Yeah. You know, don't judge a book by its following cover. Yeah. So restaurants and operators today, they need more than food.
Yeah.
Right? They need a brand that people actually feel connected to. You know, how do you nurture that connection online and in person with what you do at Iron and Oak?
I think online that was very difficult for me at first, because I think I was trying to like build a persona where it was just like, I was very boring. Like it was just like, okay, today we're going to be doing this. And I think once I started to realize outside of that, like, oh, I can actually use my personality, is when online started to grow a little bit more.
Oh, I'm so happy you said that. No, because I think a lot of people hide. They don't want to show their true personality. Yeah. For whatever reason, I fear being judged or whatnot.
I mean, the internet's a wild place, so you can,
and it holds no bar.
No, you could blink the wrong way and it just doesn't end well.
You're axed. You know? You're axed. So your personality started coming out, and that's when things started to blossom.
Yeah, but I think like that goes back to before having a following, like knowing how to talk to people and, you know, maybe not getting offended or being able to take criticism when someone says something, and then bringing that to the next client and being like, okay, what did I learn from this situation? And how can I better the next person that I talk to when I'm trying to work in business?
Oh, can we talk about that for a second? Like ego.
Yeah.
Right?
Put it aside.
What?
Put it aside.
Exactly. Just axe it, you know, because I see that a lot. I feel like a lot of restaurants I walk into, they want to feel, sound, act like they have it all together because their ego is massive, when I don't think guests are expecting that.
No.
They expect you to be honest.
Yeah.
And they expect you to be, you know, true to who you are. And I think if you do have deficiencies in areas, make light of them.
Yeah.
Bring them up. Like, I think I, as a guest, would appreciate that a lot more.
100%. And I think you get so much more sometimes with asking for help or being like, hey, this isn't one of my strong suits. And then that even goes to losing your ego when you're talking to other people too. Like, hey, how can we work together? Like, you have a strength in this and I have a strength in this. Let's work together instead of you trying to put me down and, you know, me trying. Do a collab with the restaurant. Collab with each other. Learn from each other. There's always more to learn. Like, and I know that for a fact. Like, I'm still learning every single day and I love it. And
Same.
I'm still growing on my technique, growing in a business. Like, you're never going to know anything. And
or everything.
Everything, yeah.
Right.
And I think once people realize, like, it's much easier to work together than fight each other head to head apart, then not the world will be a better place, but like growing as a business will definitely be a lot smoother.
Yeah. That mindset, I think, is so critical if you want to succeed in any business.
Yeah.
Right? You know, I was my worst enemy for so many years.
Yeah.
You know, just doubting myself, and I would be so critical. And I had a business coach one day said, "You have a son?" I said, "Yeah." "How old is he?" 4 years old. Now he's 8.
Yeah.
He said, "Would you ever talk to your son that way?" Or he said to me, "Your son's learning to walk." "Yes." "Did he get it on the first try?" "No."
Yeah.
"So did you just leave him in the corner?" Right?
Yeah.
No, you got him back up, and and so why aren't you doing that for yourself?
Yeah.
And that was like, bing, you know? And I thought that was so important. But I love your mindset, because that's how you grow.
Yeah.
That's how you build. That's how you become, I think, excellent at what you do. And it comes with time.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And like, I'm so hard on myself sometimes. And then I have to sit there and be like, why are you putting yourself down? You have built such a strong resume in such a short period of time.
I'd say.
That like, just stop being so hard on yourself. And it's easier said than done, because I do it all the time. But
it's a lot easier said than done. You know, listen, you want to be a master at your craft. You want to be the best at what you do. And I think that comes with patience,
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of wisdom, which you have. And I'm so glad we're having this conversation because we're not just sharing bacon strips.
Yeah.
You know, we actually are having a decent conversation.
We should have had some here.
We should have. I was waiting for you to bring them. So, all right. So let's talk about hospitality.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you nailed it. What is the Iron and Oak version of unforgettable hospitality? And what does that look like for you?
Oh, I think going back to leaving you with an experience of, you know, feeling like I'm not just eating another meal or I'm not just putting another little dainty hors d'oeuvre in my mouth and walking away. It's, you know, I hire a crew of people and I have my fiance to help, and it's, you know, I'm making sure you're okay. I'm walking around asking what you're enjoying about it and like what else you would like to see on a menu. Like, I'm at the same time cooking, going around entertaining to make sure that everyone is happy and everyone is satisfied. And then, in a sense, hyping up the crowd to then watch something that they have never seen before. And I think once you make people feel special, or once you make people feel like they have a choice in the food or in anything, or even like less stressed than hosting a party or less stressed in their day, then you've done your job as the caterer or the event planner. Yeah,
Ryan DePercio, he was here earlier, and you got a chance to meet him on his way out, your way in, and he was talking about that too. He's like, people come to your restaurant, or people are going to hire you to bring an experience so that they can forget about whatever stressed them out that day. Mm-hmm. You know, so when they come to that restaurant and you can create that surprise and delight, or you could create that experience where they literally forget about whatever the hell happened that day that pissed them off or, you know, set them off, you know. And I think this is just such a perfect avenue because it's so interactive. Yeah. It's so entertaining. Like, and I want to say it's extremely educational because I mean, you've told me stuff about a pig that I never knew before.
Yeah. Well, and that too, like I completely forgot about that, is that like, you know, we're brining the meats with a rosemary and a brine the entire time. And, you know, then you'll have guests come over like, can I try it? And you're like, yeah, of course. And you see everyone taking pictures while they're like smacking the meat.
Now it's interactive.
Now it's people are essentially helping with the cook.
I think you got such a cool concept that, you know, I'm almost scared to share it with the world because I feel like people are going to try to bite off it. Yeah. Like there's nobody, I haven't seen, I mean, I haven't done crazy research, but like I haven't seen anybody hitting it the way you guys are hitting it.
We're trying, we're doing our best.
Yeah. Well, I hope this podcast helps you get the word out because I think again, guys, you have to go and check out her Instagram and see just how she puts it all together, her and her fiance. It's just so cool. And I want to just go back a second, how you really embraced your personality and embraced who you are and let that out because it shows in the content and it's a lot more entertaining because I was there too with you. Like I would come up and I would be very bland and boring and I have a big personality, my wife says. So I'm like, you know, I have to bring that out more because what the hell am I doing? I'm like starving my audience, and that's probably what they want the most. And I think when we watch you, you bring all that out, and it's very entertaining. And you kind of share some behind the scenes stuff too, which I think it's so helpful because people just don't want to see you doing your craft all the time, right? Yeah. They kind of want to see, because you guys were just in Italy not too long ago.
Yeah, we went with my family. But I think like sharing behind the scenes too, like kind of shows that like I'm a normal person and I may work like insane hours, but it's like, it's not just all smoke and mirrors. It's like, I have to set this camera up. I do all my own filming and editing by myself. So it's like, you see me setting up the camera and then you see me like walking away and like changing outfits because I'm filming 5 recipes throughout the day. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot where it's not just like, hey, I'm just another influencer. It's like, no, I'm trying to succeed at this as well as I can. And this is how I'm attempting to do it.
I love how you're bringing mom in.
Oh my God. She's so unhinged.
That's so great. Because I can totally, that's how I would be with my mom. Totally. You know, that is such a great ad bad.
Yeah.
Because you can see like you want to do it your way so bad.
Yeah. Like even for Christmas too, like she finally let me start cooking some of the 7 fish.
Okay.
But like for Thanksgiving, she's just like, no, you can have Thanksgiving in your house if you want to cook. And I'm just like, okay. Like do the dishes. I'm just like,
Are you an only child?
no, I have 4 younger brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're the oldest.
Yeah. I
Okay.
have 4 younger brothers.
Okay.
So it's
that is funny.
yeah. And then like the last video I made, she like completely took over. So you just see me standing there like in silence. And I'm like, what?
Your face was priceless.
Or she's like some of the videos too, it's so funny because I'm like, I want them to be like the quick Instagram-y videos. And she's like, you're not going to explain to your audience what you're doing? I'm like, no, Mom, that's not the point of this one. We can do that in the next one.
That banter is what everybody loves because people relate to it.
Yeah.
People could totally relate to it. I see my
100%.
wife and her mom go at it sometimes and I'm like, I'll be in the other room.
Bye.
You know, it gets crazy. But I think you just being very natural and very, what's the word? The A word, which is authentic.
Yeah.
You know, you really bring that to the table and people could see right through inauthentic.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to try that. But when they're not authentic, right? Versus people who truly are. And that breathes through a lot because I pick up on that. I think one of my 6 senses is being able to read somebody really well.
It's a great skill.
You know, and I think that, you know, my mom really, God rest her soul, gave me that to carry on to my son because my father is very stoic. He is a very scary man. And that I believe, you know, I love my dad. Believe me, he gave me the work ethic I have today.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I'd be some lazy ass for sure. But, you know, she definitely.
That's the motto, work harder.
Right, exactly.
I'm just like, oh, I'm sad. Okay, go to work.
Yeah, there was
Okay.
there was no feeling bad.
Yeah.
It was like you have a responsibility and you have to maintain it, right? So, okay. So every operator has faced a moment, right, where things get tough.
Yeah.
What challenge forced you to grow most as a business owner?
I think like I know that's such a cliche answer, but like I'm always still growing. Like there's always things that you can learn from. Like I even look back and I'm just like, oh, I could have done this differently. I could have done that differently. And I think at first it was really the marketing that, you know, because we were putting out videos, we were putting out things. I had one of my friends build me the fire table. And I was trying to do everything right, but it was just like we weren't getting anything and we weren't getting anywhere. And I just couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And it was just like, okay, I never went to culinary school. So I have that against me. I have all of these things against me. And then that's when I was like, okay, you know what? We're gonna try to do things a little bit differently. And once I changed my mindset is when we started to see a little bit more success.
Yeah. Did you ever think about getting help?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it was like, you need money to make money. And we were starting with literally nothing.
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, how can we do this ourselves and kind of build this from zero and take it to where it is now?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, everybody's got to start somewhere, right? Yeah. So, you know, I would strongly advise, you know, I'm trying not to be consultant here, but I can't, I'm ready to jump over the table here. But what I would say is, put some money aside, you know, and invest that into marketing, whether it be consulting or help. Every little bit works. Or,
100%.
You know, collaborating with somebody who is very interested in what you do. And that could turn into something. I've seen that too. You know, when I was CMO, we had a guest in one of our restaurants that just she was an influencer to an extent, right? But she had no real culinary influence at all. I mean, experience, I should say, right? She was very pretty and she just went to a lot of restaurants and but she had a passion, man. And she said, I will come and do your stuff at your restaurants in Chicago for free. I want to get my chops wet. I want to get my experience and I want to help you guys because I believe in the brand. We signed her right up.
Yeah.
You know, hit, you know, we had 4 or 5 different restaurants at the time and we just let her rip and she got better and better and better.
Yeah. And that's what it is. It's like you just practice and you keep doing it and you do it over and over and over again. And then you slowly start thinking of ways how you can do it better. Yeah. And it just
What do you use, CapCut?
I do use CapCut.
No, I'm not hating on CapCut, man. I used it for years. That thing was a lifesaver.
I tried to use Final Cut Pro and I got a headache. I was like, no. I tried.
That
there
is
was
a different
very
world.
strong attempt and I just could not figure it out.
That is hours of YouTube tutorial.
Yeah. And so now I use the DJI. I like the
mic?
Osmo.
Oh,
the camera.
The camera, yeah. Very good.
I'll use that. I have my lights set up. I just built an outdoor patio. So
what did you build in your backyard this summer? It looked like
a patio, like a content patio. Yeah.
She built a content patio, guys. And you guys are worried about posting your first post. This one's building a content patio.
I was tired of brands being like, oh, I really like your content, but your backyard's ugly. And I was like, are you out? So then I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm going to build.
The critics.
Yeah. And it was funny because I was asking for weeks, like, hey, can someone help me build a patio? I'm not a landscaper. I'm not a construction guy. And it got to the point where like I kept asking my dad and fiance for help. And they were like, yeah, we'll get to it. So I just started digging by myself.
You framed it out? Yep. I saw that you framed it out.
Yep. Started digging. And they're like, what are you doing? I was like, well, you guys aren't helping me. So.
Where did you get this perseverance from?
I think my dad. 100% my dad.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's how you get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
You're not questioning anything.
Yeah, no, maybe I should like have a better plan sometimes than to just start digging because I accidentally dug on a hill. So I was so proud of myself. I was like, yes, it's the measurements I want. My dad's like, dude, it's uneven. I was like, what do you mean it's uneven? And he's like, the hill, you can't put it up. I was like, well, just put sand. And he was like, no. So then he helped.
That's amazing. Yeah, I would say patio's got to be somewhat level.
Somewhat even, yeah. I was so proud of myself because I dug on the hill.
Oh my God. All right. So we're coming into 2026, right? What are you most excited about for Iron and Oak coming into the new year?
Yeah. So I have a few projects that I'm working on that I'm extremely excited about. In 2026, we're going to be doing a lot more pop-ups with other restaurants and chefs throughout the country. And, I would love to do more private events for different clients. Uh-huh. And 2026, I'm hoping is going to be a great year. So far, we have a lot of things lined up again for this year. So it's...
Yeah. You said that and it just hit me because I said to myself, a lot of folks... They're not getting married in these big venues anymore. Yeah. And they want these weddings to be very experiential.
Yeah.
And, when I got married 15 years ago, we got married at the Westmount Country Club. That's when it was cool to like get married at a venue like that, right? But I had the guy making fresh mozzarella there at the cocktail hour. I had the guy making sushi there. Like it was very experiential. Now people are taking that out of these venues and doing it in their backyard. So I think that is such a pillar, a marketing pillar for you to attack.
Oh, 100%.
They will spend an arm and a leg
like
for
how
that.
I just did my own engagement party because, and how I'm planning my own wedding probably in my parents' backyard again because I can't justify spending the money on a wedding.
Yeah, I hear you.
It's crazy.
If I could do it again, I would spend a third of what we spent. It's only more expensive now. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, my parents' backyard can hold a lot of people. I was like, so we can just get a bunch of food trucks, do what I want.
And that would be killer anyway, because that is so you from what I know of you this far. But like that's what you want.
Yeah.
You create that a day for you and your fiance.
Well, I don't, and how are you going to kick me out of somewhere after 4 hours and I just paid you all this money? Like, my parents can't kick me out. I mean, they can. I don't live there, but they can't kick me out. I'm going to stay all night.
That would be killer. Do you have a date?
We're looking for sometime in either October or November next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's pretty awesome. Very exciting. Born and raised in New Jersey, so you're a Jersey girl.
Yeah.
Right? But I know you do a lot of things nationally. Mm-hmm. But you're representing Jersey.
Yeah.
And we can't forget that. Right? What do you want Iron Oak to represent in the New Jersey culinary scene over the next few years?
I would love for it to represent that, you don't have to go to a fancy restaurant to have a great experience. You can have that experience right in your backyard, whether it be a tailgate or, down the shore over the summer. And you can have everything that you can get going out right to you.
It's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, you definitely are going to set a tone, I think. If this thing catches, which I already see it, I already see it catching, I think you are going to set quite the tone. So where can people learn more about you and learn more about Iron and Oak?
So about me is Cooking with Zandges. So it's just cooking with and then ZANDGE_S. And Iron and Oak, the website is right on the link on my page in there. And then there's an Iron and Oak Instagram as well that's on there.
Alex, what a pleasure.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So cool to have you here and to actually have a real conversation, not one that I'm loaded on tequila and
oh my God,
I couldn't even see. No, listen, that was a great night.
Yeah.
Big shout out to the Food and Wine Festival and Alex for bringing me that bacon when I needed it the most. But what a pleasure having you, and I wish you all but nothing but success. And I know just sitting with you today and listening to you and seeing where your head's at, because that's 90% of business. 80% of business is where your head's at. And if you could keep it clean and clear, you're going to do just fine. And I feel like you have that. So you're going to be awesome.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And thank you for having me. This is a lot of fun.
You got it. Guys, another episode in the books. Make sure you like, subscribe, leave a review, as well as share this with another person in the industry that will get value out of this. I'm here for you guys when you need me. Anything branding, marketing related, hit me up on the DMs and Instagram. You know how to find me. Have an amazing day, and I'll catch you on the next one real soon.